It's a new day, guys, and today we'll be talking about my predictions as to when Chapter 3 may release. Also, only 93% of my viewers are actually subscribed, so if you end up enjoying this video, please feel free to hit that big red button. It costs you absolutely nothing and it helps me a ton. So, as always, enjoy the video. As you guys know, the renovation update was released just short of 2 weeks ago today. That means it's safe to assume we won't be getting our hands on Chapter 3 within the next month or two, because it would just not be financially effective for Red Beat, because it's just generally not a very good idea for games to release two large updates back to back straight away, because they're still probably making revenue from all the hype surrounding the renovation update, because that was quite big and there was a lot of hype surrounding it and a lot of new people would have bought the game to play it. So as for an exact date, we really have no idea when we'll be getting Chapter 3, because if we look at the past, Chapter 1 was first released in Update 10 for Raft on December the 3rd, 2019. That was the first ever storyline update where you could finally start the adventure, get coordinates and all of that. And apart from the odd hotfix after that date, it took Red Beat a whole 309 days until they finally released Update 12 for Raft, which was obviously Chapter 2, which furthered the storyline even more and was probably the biggest update to date, really. So surely that means if we take the figure of 309 days as the average for a large chapter update, then technically Chapter 3 should come out in roughly August of this year, which would be amazing, by the way. And that's kind of the date I've been estimating for the past few months, but it's not quite that simple, as I'm very sure Red Beat will work to make this one of their biggest updates ever, as the game is obviously growing in hype every day and more people are finding out about it, and they just want to lift the bar higher for themselves with each update. So I'd account for a few weeks on top of that figure to allow them to perfect the update and make it their best one yet, because they'll just want to impress more and more, because that is the nature of game design. Furthermore, between Update 10, which was Chapter 1, and Update 12, Chapter 3, there was a fairly large update which was released just 3 months after December 3rd, which was when Chapter 1 released. It was on the 14th of February 2020, and this was Update 11, or otherwise known as the Beehive update. It was nowhere near as large as the furniture update, as it took half the time to produce pretty much, and it just didn't have that many features. Obviously the furniture update has about 100 features, new animals, new AI, so it did take a lot longer to produce, probably about 3 months more. So it might be smart to account for a slight delay as a result of the renovation update, as Red Beat don't have a very large developer team. They actually released the size of their developer team not too long ago, and it turns out they only have 2 coders and 5 artists, which makes sense because there is a lot of graphic design and drawing that goes into Raft because the art style is so unique. But that as a whole is a huge surprise to me, because the quality of the game is insane and it's really up there with some AA games produced by hundreds of thousands of developers and large franchises. So hats off to them, but it does mean it will take a lot longer to produce high quality updates. If we are going by historical events, and we're saying it's safe to assume Chapter 3 might come out near August time, and then on top of that we're accounting for the reasonably large renovation update, it's safer to push that expectation back to around late September maybe, or even early October time, which would make it almost an entire year since the last storyline update. This is obviously pure speculation by me, but I'm quite confident that it will be around September time that we finally get our hands on the long-awaited Chapter 3 extension. And on top of all the hype we've built already, I truly think this storyline update will be much longer than both Chapter 1 and 2, because there were a bunch of complaints that I saw released on Twitter and all the different socials simply stating that it was far too short, and it may be that people just enjoyed it so much that they wanted more and more, kind of like fast food, you keep wanting more of it because the storyline is so good. It really drags you in and it's really immersive, which is obviously not a glaring issue. It just means that people enjoyed it so much. Using this information though, I think Red Beat will focus on bringing us the biggest story development update we've ever seen, and hopefully still keeping that quality that the past updates have had. I could even see it being twice as long, or maybe 3 times as long as the past storyline updates, because I feel like they're really going to want to push themselves and make this the most hyped update ever. They'll really want to make us entertained and keep us busy for at least a couple months so they have time to start their next update, because last time, merely a couple weeks or even days after the Chapter 2 update, they already had to announce that they were working on Chapter 3 so that people wouldn't complain too much. But even after all this speculation, you must remember these are just my predictions and they're based on past events. I'm using one update. It's not like we're going over hundreds of updates and combining the average to find this figure that is quite reliable. I'm going off one update, so I could be completely wrong. And if you look at games like GTA, they've taken 10 years to produce their next game. They're not exactly consistent with the way they produce updates and releases and stuff like that, but they are also secretive, just like Red Beat are. So as I said, take my prediction with a pinch of salt, because although in my mind a September release is probably the most likely result, it's quite possible it could get delayed until Christmas. There is no leaks or anything official to go off of, since Red Beat are quite quiet about updates and hype surrounding them. They like to build it up behind the scenes, release sneak peeks every week, and it's really an effective way of going about business because you get people talking about it and the hype just builds overall. When it actually drops, people are so excited because they have no idea what's actually in the update. But guys, even though you might be disappointed with me saying it might come in September, because that is still quite a way away, you've got to remember the most hype builds around games in summer and Christmas time, because that's when people don't have jobs, or that's when people don't have school. So I feel like it's really possible still, since summer is probably really starting within the next month. Either they release it sooner so that they can get it out in time for summer, because there will be loads of hype and a load of people will be able to play it, since most people will be out of school, a lot of jobs like teachers won't be teaching or anything like that, and the amount of people that will be able to play the update straight away will be massive. But that doesn't mean it will come out in the summer. I don't think it will. I think it will be just after the summer, which as a marketing move probably wouldn't be the best idea. But you've got to remember they don't really have much of an option, basically because of COVID. Everything's delayed. There's not many guarantees in the gaming industry, but I am sure they're trying their best to push it out as soon as possible, as well as keeping the update to a very high quality and standard, because that's what Red Beat like to do. We all know that their updates are some of the best out there, and you know when this update drops, it will be amazing, and there will be things we haven't even seen before. There will be new features, maybe scuba diving, maybe harpoons, which someone commented on my video, and there was a nice little discussion, because harpoons, more sea life, interactable things under the water. Maybe we can go to the depths of the ocean, in the middle of the ocean. Maybe you can go all the way down to the bottom and find new rare species of fish, like the anglerfish maybe, because they are adding that fish, and in real life the anglerfish lurks at depths of like 2 miles or something. It's like a really deep ocean fish, and it's quite dangerous. So I think we might be able to get scuba gear, and we might be able to go really deep into the ocean, which will be awesome. That's all I've got for you today, ladies and gentlemen. So I hope you lot are as hyped as I am. Chapter 3 is going to be absolutely awesome, and if you want to stay updated on Raft and see all about the new updates even hours after they come out, so pretty much straight away, hit that subscribe button and turn on those post notifications to get notified exactly when I upload. If you did enjoy this video, remember to leave me a like, as it helps me out a ton, and I'll see you in the next one, guys. Talk soon.